So I had about 4 months till my next fight. And I thought it takes me 3 months to get in shape. I got 1 month off. And for that month, I sat the girl on camera, gave her a keyboard that wasn't plugged in, and she'd just go like this. And I sat behind the screen and I finessed the dudes. Me, myself. I was a cam girl. Bro, I sat there myself and pretended to be a cam girl and said all the right things. And with these 2 bitches, I made 110 grand in my first month.
Damn.
This is going to piss some people off, but you know what? I committed to full frontal honesty on this channel, so I'm just going to say it. Girls are usually the worst sexters on OnlyFans and therefore the lowest earners. Meanwhile, a lot of the highest paid chatters and closers are actually men. Yeah, men pretending to be women. Whether this offends you or not, this is a secret weapon that only a few OnlyFans creators have actually unlocked fully so far. And as a result, they've been killing it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why men tend to make better sexters and earn more on OnlyFans, and what this means for you if you actually want to get rich doing this, whether or not you're a man or a woman. I'm also going to share a few cheat codes from my own dirty little playbook. And near the end, I'll drop a pretty controversial truth bomb that might just change your entire strategy and hopefully get you the financial breakthrough that you're looking for. So stick around and let's get into it.
Golden shadows, they slip away. You reach to hold them, they never stay. Golden shadows, they light the dark. A fleeting ember, a dying spark.
So I had these 2 girls and I set them up, bought the laptops, put them on cam, etc. And they weren't making that much money. And I was analyzing their chats afterwards, and I could see why. Just saying dumb shit. Dumb shit, bruv. Like, if they were sitting there talking to an old guy, and the old guy would say, "What kind of guys do you like?" She'd say, "I like young guys with good body and money." To some old fat dude.
Wow.
Why kill his dream?
But that's in the game.
Why kill his dream? I say, no, you need to say, "I'm tired of these young guys messing me around. I want a guy who's been through that phase in his life, looking for something more stable." You know, and if you get a young guy, you need to say, "I'm tired of these old perverts hitting on me. Finally, I'm talking to a hot guy." So you need to play into the fantasy. So I'm trying to teach these bitches. So it gets to the point where after the work shift, we're sitting around at dinner and I'm like, "Look, here's how you sell this. Like proper businessman. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do this. Listen, ho, you said this wrong." I had transcripts. I had transcripts of their webcam chats.
Damn.
No, highlight, no, do this, change this, trying to teach them, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized, you know what's easier than teaching these bitches? I'm just going to do it myself.
That clip from the very controversial Andrew Tate may be offensive to some people, but no lies were told. I'm here to tell you, what he's saying is absolutely true. Now, you may not agree with the way that he's saying it, but I can tell you from my own personal experience, I was 2 years into my career on OnlyFans when I first saw Andrew Tate talking about this, and I was really surprised, one, that someone with such a high profile would admit to this, because this is sort of like a dirty secret within the OnlyFans community, especially high-end OnlyFans creators. I mean, I've only been on a few teams that have males on those teams. Let's face it, most men are horny bastards, so it's quite understandable why a model wouldn't want to let a man manage her page, because you're going to get access to all of her photos and videos and everything. And it takes either a man who's not attracted to women or someone who's super professional to not get totally cringe about all that stuff. So what most women generally get wrong about this is that they think, "I'm hot, guys want me, so they're going to pay me. They'll be happy to pay me." Here's the reality check. That might work in a strip club or on a whole stroll somewhere, but when it comes to OnlyFans, looks alone won't close that sale for you. Now, content will get you the attention, but when you're actually chatting and engaging, it's actually all about the connection, and that's what guys tend to be willing to spend money on. High spenders in particular, they're not throwing down thousands for just nudes. They are paying for fantasy, role play, validation, and control. So one of the big reasons many women struggle is because they have an emotional bias. They're focusing on what they would want, but not focusing on what the man wants. So they're trying to be sexy in a way that they think is sexy as women. They're trying to be flirty and engaging and cool and fun in ways that they think are fun. very sort of self-centered in a way. So just like in that clip with Andrew Tate, where he was saying, when you ask a girl, what do you like, she tells you the truth. Yeah, because because she's focused on what she wants. In that moment, she needs to think, well, what does this guy want to hear? Before you can even know what this guy wants to hear, you need to know what type of guy you're dealing with. You need to learn how to first psychologically profile that guy so that you can step into his mindset and speak to his wants and not your own. Another reason women struggle in this area is because they're often maybe too literal. I don't know if it's the porn industry or maybe it's actually the overall media industry that tends to portray women in a very specific way when it comes to sex. So it's often pretty, perfect, neat, clean, submissive, demure. And as a result, a lot of the girls out here, they're making sexting about being accurate to that image that they see out there, this pretty image. And yeah, I mean, a lot of guys will get off to that, but what actually makes them lock into you isn't that pretty clean image. It's actually what is behind that. So when you're able to show them something raw, men are dirty. Men are raw. Men don't wash their hands in the bathroom. I mean, many men are kind of gross in a way. So if as a sexter you're able to tap into that grossness, that's one of the ways that you stand out when they see, oh, okay, you're kind of nasty. All right, you're a little bit rough around the edges. Like there's this pretty, but there's something raw underneath. That's one of the most endearing things for these high spenders. Women are also often way too passive. So they tend to wait for men to offer things. And yeah, this is how we teach women to behave generally in society. But this is not society, honey. This is OnlyFans. This is sub society. Okay? This is the underbelly of society. This is the stuff that people don't want to talk about in public. This is the side of people that you never see. So it's like a completely different set of rules under here. And what actually works better is when you learn to direct someone to whatever that spend is, direct them to content or direct them to a certain type of experience that you want them to pay for, or suggest a kind of a relationship. Just know that the passive approach is not going to get you that bag. You have to be direct but intentional and very strategic. So now that we've talked about why women have challenges when it comes to sexting, let's look at it from the flip side now and talk about some of the things that make men naturally better at sexting.
Because these guys were talking about World War II and shit. All the fucking, bro, I knew all of it, bro.
Yeah.
They were like, I can't believe you know. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm from Russia. We're taught in school. The dude thought she was some World War II historian. This bitch didn't know nothing. She's a bimbo. So I was rinsing the game. And from there, I thought, you know what? This is how much I'm making with 2 girls. Imagine I had more girls.
Right.
And that was the beginning of my empire. So I ended up getting to the point where I had 75 girls in 5 different premises working for me.
So again, Andrew Tate, offensive as he is not wrong. Let's talk about some of the reasons why men make better sexters on OnlyFans, huh? First of all, men don't have the same ego that women do. Yeah, no, men definitely have egos, but we don't have egos about sex in the same way that women have egos. So we don't get attached to, is this authentic, or is this real, or is this right or wrong or whatever. Once we see what works, we run the play. We don't waste time judging the other person or ourselves in that moment. And even if we do, we don't let it stop us. And yes, that's why so many men have reckless sexual behavior, is because we're less inhibited when it comes to our sexual urges than most women. And that also translates online too. A lot of these rich men, they are looking to release their most primal desires. They're looking to tap into a part of themselves that may often feel so forbidden to them, or may feel so unsatisfied or unseen, that the minute they find someone who can unlock that portal for them, it's game over. And if they have the money to spend on extending that experience, they will definitely do so. Men also have a more predatory psychology than women. Men know what men want, and that is very often control, power, and to feel like you're on top of the world, to feel like you are getting exactly what you want. It is somehow ingrained in a man's psyche to to see his visions come into reality. That gives us a win. Men are also typically more sales first. So male chatters, we are able to treat that like a video game, right? Once we can very, very quickly turn that into a numbers game and step out of the emotional, feeling, judgmental side of it and just run the numbers. How much money can you get out of this guy in a single night? How fast can you do it? What makes him unlock things faster? I mean, all of these things, men tend to gravitate more towards those strategic details. Another reason is consistency. Men typically don't need to be in the mood as much as women. Men can run the fantasy all day long, every day, without attaching ourselves to it. Once we start sexting as women on a female's platform, we've already in a way dissociated from ourselves, right? We know that this is not us. This is not a representation of my actual self. So I have no issue detaching and sort of simply stepping into that service role whenever. So male chatters tend to experience way less burnout for that reason as well. Okay, let me give you an example from my own little book of dirty tricks. A lot of women think that men want you to tell them that their dick is bigger than it is, right? We think that men care about the size of our dicks, so when a guy, for instance, asks a girl for a cock rating or dick rating or whatever, she's supposed to say, "Oh my god, that's so big," blah blah blah, whatever. And well, most girls do that, and the men may seem like they appreciate it. The truth is, he knows that his dick is not big. He watches porn. He knows exactly what size his dick is. So here's what I do. Whenever a guy sends me a dick pic and says, "Hey baby, what do you think about this?" or "Can you rate my dick?" or whatever it is, what I say is, "Oh my god, I don't think I can take that." No, that's a very subtle difference because it's still kind of hinting to his dick being big, but I didn't actually say that. I just said I don't know if I can take it. Many women actually prefer a smaller dick, and believe me, it is a guy's fantasy for a woman to think that even though his dick is not very big, that she actually prefers it and she can feel it and she's, oh my god, like that is going to validate him in so many ways. So that's just one of my quick little tricks. And again, it's because I understand how men think. A man doesn't need you to lie about his dick size. He just needs to believe that it is more than sufficient for you in particular. And that will endear you to him so fast. Another one of the big advantages that men have over women is pattern recognition. Male chatters tend to see spending behavior like data, almost like charts. So we spot whales faster, we can pivot into the complementary language much faster. We are a little bit braver and bolder when it comes to testing out strategies. So a lot of these tendencies around being very logical, very quick on the draw, very bold, very mission oriented, forward facing, pioneering, go get it, tireless kind of energy. These are the things that male chatters can naturally draw on much more easily than women. This is not to say that women are not able to do this, because I've met some badass girls in my time. Okay, there are definitely some very, very, very experienced, very effective female chatters out there too. But these are just the reasons why men have more of a natural proclivity toward making quick money much faster and bigger sums. Men naturally ask for bigger sums, for bigger sums of money than women. I've seen this over and over and over. Male chatters, the very few that I've encountered, will much more quickly ask for hundreds of dollars, whereas women will want to sort of gradually increase it. A guy's going to jump straight into that because he wants to know, hey, how much does this guy have to spend? How does he react to things? And we know how we are when it comes. We know how we value the money that we spend and what we want to do when we are trying to get off. So we know what happens to a man when he's in that, when he's in heat, basically. When a man is looking to bust that nut and he's in that height of passion, that's the time to get the most amount of money because he's in a different zone. So, what is the real lesson in all of this? Well, it's simply this. It does not matter if you are male or female. What matters is, can you profile a man's psychology quickly and accurately? Can you speak to his fantasy self? Can you drip feed intimacy and the idea of exclusivity until he craves you more than anything else? the top chatters are not at the top because they're just sitting around being hot, okay? They're being strategic manipulators of desire. And here's the controversial truth. Sex sells, but the ego is actually the one that's doing the buying. Once you can appeal to a man's specific ego, those egoic desires, you're way more likely to not only close the sale, but make him a long-term repeat customer. So, if you're a female creator, don't take this as an insult. Take it as a wake-up call. If you can learn to chat like a man, to sell psychology, not just sex, you're going to multiply your income. And if you're a guy looking to get into this industry, this is your unfair advantage. Lean into it. Don't judge it. Just work the playbook. So if you want more breakdowns of persuasion, client psychology, and high-ticket sexting strategies, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be showing you the exact frameworks that make men drop thousands of dollars a night without hesitation. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep it OG.